Welcome to a special edition of OK Boomer the podcast that I actually slept through, so it didn't get done. So we're here this weekend, waking up Thomas from his afternoon nap, and we're back. Brought to you, of course, by our friends over at the Inked Marketing Team. We want to let you know about Avenue Warriors. It's fully funded, but it's an all Hawaiian created comic book. There's only a few days left on this. It's live now on Kickstarter. The Avenue Warriors is a classic tale of light versus darkness. The story begins in the present day as we see a Royal Hawaiian Guard, the leader of the Amuka Guardians of Hawaii, sharing the powerful origin story of Avenue Warriors and the valuable lessons the human race can learn from their tale. The Avenue Warriors is an all-powerful cosmic Mana Ohana family. Grab your copy today at inked.pub/Anue. ANUENUE. And here we are, back at the virtual spinner rack.
Yeah, this is the virtual spinner rack that was only at comic book shops, wasn't it? I think you had these were only direct market, weren't they?
What, the spinner racks?
No, the Elementals.
Yeah, Elementals was direct market. Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't get it in the gas station or anything. You had to get it only at a comic book shop.
Mm-hmm. Comico only distributed to direct market only.
Yeah.
This is not the first appearance of the Elementals, however.
It is not. I didn't know that. When I sent the book over to you, I saw that they actually. Well, first of all, we'll go ahead. We got a cool wraparound cover with, of course, everybody who sees the Elementals. We see them here, kind of the Comico Fantastic Four here, and then the bad guys on the other side. And Willingham actually has a little intro telling you where the first Elementals did show up. Was in a Texas Justice Machine or some stuff like that. Oh, Texas Comics, but Justice Machine Annual #1. That's what I'd never heard of. Justice Machine Annual #1.
You never heard of Justice Machine? Wow.
I don't think so. I mean, it may be something, maybe one of those books I look at, if I look it up and go, oh shit, I know what that is.
Yeah, it looks a lot like Elementals. They were done by a lot, it was done like the same style because everything was a certain style for like independent superhero comics back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember Justice Machine was a little different. Justice Machine was more like X-Men than Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Or kind of like, a different version of Justice League. Like they would do like in the mid 80s or 90s, be like, yeah, none of the big guns are there anymore. So, it's like, let's let Aquaman lead the team because there's nobody but him and Martian Manhunter left. It's just like these kids that they picked up in some superhero fraternity or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just seen the cover. It looks a little familiar, but it's one of the things I don't think I really read that. I said most of all my stuff that I read at this time, because, being in a small community, we really didn't have a comic book shop. I was buying in the 80s. I bought everything off the rack. So I looked it up, but the other thing that was kind of funny is as we look at it, Willingham, who goes on to do a lot of amazing stuff later on, actually is he's doing pencils and plot and everything else here, pretty much. Damn, he's not bad. I mean, because he had to be pretty young when this come out. I mean, even if you look at um, other books at the same time, that we've done that were all indies and such, because he's not a big, he's not a big, I don't say industry name at this point. The art is really good, surprisingly good, I thought.
Yeah, it is, especially for that time of indie comics, because a lot of the stuff was like still black and white, but there were some like breakout stars. Like another one was DN Agents.
Yeah, DNA agents or DN agents, yes. However, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
series.
I've got the first volume trade, but it's somewhere between a digest size and a regular comic book size, but it's thick.
Yeah, I mean, this is Nexus, but nothing is. But I mean, art is really good for the time period. Uh, and like we're saying, most of the other indies at this time were all black and white, and really you could tell they were homemade.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for
what's
sure.
what's funny is even though this is the first issue, like I said, they do introduce us to it, and he reintroduces everybody, but uh, they just kind of throw us in, and I don't say we're kind of forced to catch up, but we are. I mean, it opens up, and I was like, who the hell is Miss Rebecca and all this, and
Hmm.
even the way the coloring is, it's kind of like he's hiding it a little bit. There at the bottom of the panel, dude's telling her, hey, you got to get awake. Your dad tells me, he pays me $20,000 a year. I've got to make sure I get you down there, gather in the library and all this. But the coloring here, you can't tell who she really is. You just say it's a lady, and it's kind of hidden until later on when she finally shows up in a couple pages that she's the green person right here. Not uh, is she water? Yeah, water.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she shows up. Um, but yeah, he's this we're gonna do this the hard way or whatever. Your father wants to see you down in the library, so she finally says, I'll be there in a few minutes, and you'll have to explain this to me because I just missed it. The spontaneous generation. I was like, what in the hell?
I think it's a play on words
Yeah, I was like,
because I think their first appearance in Texas Comics Justice Machine Annual 1
yeah,
was you know their not only their first appearance, but it was their origin, like the big boom that gave them their powers. I also find it funny that the the father's butler reminds me a lot of Oberon, Mr. Miracle's little dwarf guy.
oh, with the weird hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we call that balding. You and I are just bald.
Damn it. Oh man. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, this is one of those books. Sometimes we read the books and we look at them and they'll date themselves. This one does. It kind of falls into that. We know what time period this come from.
Mhm.
It's definitely a part of the 80s. But yeah, the butler comes back downstairs and sees the father who's drinking coffee and reading the newspaper, and then everyone else is like standing around. He's like, "Hey, she'll be down here in a minute, and do you need anything else, sir?" "No, I don't." "Okay, well, I'm gonna go away." And you can tell how early it is. This is apparently like the very next day after they're after the Justice Machine Annual number 1, because even This guy's like, weird. Yesterday's outfit was all ripped for 8 weeks from Sunday, and now it's whole. So this is very early. And then, her Miss Rebecca's father here, who, we're at his house, goes on to talk to him about, the media and, seeing everything, our government's doing all kind of stuff. And I still don't get how they got their powers. They don't quite explain it, but apparently something happened and everybody died. All of the members of the elementals died, and they were, kind of come back to life. And when they come back to life, they had powers based on however they died. Old little boy here who, died in the cave in. They never recovered his body, so he can turn into like a big earth monster. And, this guy, he's, I don't believe any of it and everything. And he just starts flying in the middle of the room. And then the daughter, Rebecca, finally shows up. And, she's like, is there any breakfast? And when I first saw this, I was like, it's kind of like a She-Hulk ripoff. It's like, ugh. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Except it's not She-Hulk. It's just weird for me that the green girl is not like super strong like She-Hulk. That she is she's the water girl.
Yeah. She has no powers similar to She-Hulk at all. She just looks like her.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's just, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. But yeah, so she comes down and, she finally shows up to breakfast and she's telling her dad, who, is giving everybody else hell, hey, this is what's really going on. And, I'm here to get breakfast and we'll just have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes our next person who shows up to our little story here. And he comes in to, speak to the father. And, of course, he's looking for the Rebecca and the whole team and trying to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's down from the FBI office and everything. And, he's trying to figure out what's going on for it. But he's like, hey, I'll take everybody's word, even though they're all telling us they died and they come back to life. And this is kind of like the whole, you get an idea of what's going on here. He's talking about, the government, sets up all of this to look into things and crimes, and natural disasters and all this. Apparently there's been this rampant, unexplained natural disasters, Mount Rainier, there's a flood here, a tornado in frickin', Maine. I don't think, Maine will ever have a tornado, but maybe. I don't know.
If they did, do we get free lobsters?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Because it's damn cold in Maine for them to have a tornado. And of course, this Mr. FBI agent keeps pushing, and the fire lady just, gets mad, and she tells him, look, it's the damn government. They're just going to have to deal with it. And we're all together forming this little super team. And Rebecca's finally like, hey, take us into town and we'll have lunch. And, he's all mad. You just had breakfast and everything else. And she's like, but, by the time we get there, we'll have our story straightened out. We'll let everybody know. And we'll be hungry again. And then the story changes. Of course, they tell you it's this interlude. And as we see here, there's a spaceship now, which we know we're in from the story. And then a little later on, we're in like Washington State. And here comes the villains. And of course, we don't know they're the villains at this point. We can guess from the cover, but here comes the villains. they're flying around. They're actually looking for the elementals. They've got a little contract to, like bring them in alive or, dead or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And for some reason, they were able to track them to the Space Needle, which that is a really good picture. I wonder if that's just a photo he copied over it or a picture, but everybody knows what the dang Space Needle is.
Saddle.
Yep.
I wonder why it wasn't raining in that picture. It's always raining in Seattle.
Yeah. Maybe he just didn't draw the rain. So, yeah, of all places for them to go eat, they decided to go to the Space Needle and eat. And there, all the government agents and everything, now's where we get our origin story. And the FBI agent keeps going, what do you all have in common? And the little kid's like, hey, we have all in common the whole thing that we all died and then come back to life. Like, what? Yep.
With powers.
With powers.
And the little kid's like, wait a couple of pages. You're going to find out you're going to wish you stayed in bed.
Yeah. I wonder if they explain how they get their powers later on, really, because I can't remember. I've only read a couple issues of the Elementals, and I'd never read this one until here. But yeah.
It might be in the Justice Machine annual, because I don't think this came out much longer after that.
No, it couldn't have. I mean, the way it's written and everything. I mean, it's almost, I know it's a continuous story, but yeah, it can't be much longer.
Yeah, I think it was they were a backup because they needed to fill pages in the annual, because you can't have a 28-page annual, and they put them in the back there, and they got such positive feedback that people buying the Justice Machine wanted to see more of this other team, which probably got the book launched.
Oh yeah, well I mean, and like I said, I had even heard. I talked to a couple guys at the comic book shop, a couple years ago. We were reading. They had a big sale at one of the comic book shops here. I think it was the one I go to in Warner Robins sometimes. And I was actually talking to the owner, who's a little older than I am, and we were talking about Independence, because he had a whole slew of Independence on sale from the 80s, and we were looking at talking about different stuff, and he said he really enjoyed the Elementals. He loved that series. I was buying Nexus and Robotech, and he was like, oh my God. It's funny. So yeah, now we find out. So here's our little stories, our origin stories. So the little kid gets buried in a cave-in, and they never find his body. Rebecca falls in the water and drowns, and they never get her body. Someone else, the other lady, the fire girl, she dies in a fire, and of course the fire girl is really, I guess, she's all going to be hot because she's mad to go with her flames, while she's trying to explain to everybody else, just the dude needs to shut up and listen to them and leave them alone.
Mm-hmm. That's her secret. She's always angry.
Exactly. Because she's fire.
Mm-hmm.
And did it say how the other guy died? Or did I miss it again when I read it? But yeah.
We might have missed it.
Yeah. So, because even the other guy's finally getting mad, because the FBI agent's just, this ain't real, he just keeps going on. He won't listen to them. And they finally start giving the FBI agents some smack when there's a crash. And this guy breaks through the glass at the Space Needle. And he comes in, and we find out right quick that he's, the electrocutioner here. He get in here and keep everybody away. And his part of his team is Crystallis and Ratman. Take a wild guess who Ratman is.
The rat?
Yeah, the guy that looks like the rat.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Since the water girl looks nothing like water.
Exactly. Yeah, she's not even blue, dude. So they come in and get into a fight, and they're there to like I said, to capture them for whoever's got them under control. And the executioner's partner there, Crystallis, she's got some kind of gooey stuff she can shoot out of her gun.
And luckily catches the FBI agent in a cocoon.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's why she's, Crystallis. So after she catches the FBI agent, the fire lady tells the dad, hey, you need to get out of here. We can handle ourselves. Who she keeps saying, calling daddy. Go pay the bill and then run like hell. Baby, I'm not paying the bill. I'm leaving. These people are criminals.
Yeah, I'm like, pay the bill.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
And they, of course, now they start their big fight.
Yeah, and this is great because Kiwi. Oh, I blame you for that. The rest of the book is pretty much all action.
Yeah, it's one big fight from this point. And it's not the bad thing at all because it's like
it makes
really
you
well.
Yeah,
drawn.
it makes you want to read more of this series just from checking out this issue.
Yeah, and the thing that's cool is you can tell they're a little bit more they're indie than they are. I don't even think we would get this. He's obviously the air guy, whatever his name is now here at the bottom says holy shit, but it doesn't say she just shh. You wouldn't even get that in mainstream books from the 80s. It would be the little exclamation points and all the other stuff. So they're trying to definitely push the boundary. But yeah, so Ratman jumps on him. They get into a big fight. They knock the little kid out. So like I said, he turns into a big old earth mud dude and slams into the ground. He falls all the way from the Space Needle. And then through the fight here, the executioner shoots the water lady and somehow blows her damn clothes off. The book just got better. While the little boy falls to the ground and we get the knockoff version of the Blob.
Yeah.
I do like, to me, this was another 80s thing here in a minute. After, you get the big fight and, everybody's trying to save one another. Ratman is like going to use a fire extinguisher on people and such. Uh-oh. And as, the fight keeps going on there here in just a minute, this is a good page. One of the better drawn pages. As it goes on, the art does keep getting better. But yeah, they get their fight. But then they all show up at the end, and it's like, here's the bad guy team, and here's the good guy team, and it's got their little names. Fathom is the water lady.
I was like, that name sounds familiar, Michael Turner.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny because she got so mad because the other guy kind of like burnt her outfit off, so she's just running around in her underwear.
Yeah.
And she had it, and none of them knew her name, so they were just calling her like whatever, Green Bing, String Bing. It's Fathom.
Yeah. Yeah. Then she blows the hell out of them.
PMSing.
But, and we talk about this in books all the time, especially some of the indies, though. mean, like, this is so much better than earlier in the book.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
shows how fast he's developing as an artist. It really, and this is why he was able to sell it, and it becomes such a popular book for an indie title. I still don't get the whole Crystallis power here. This has got to be a sucky way to, have a superpower. But they finally managed to get the FBI guy off.
Well, I think it's kind of like a Spider-Man suit almost, where she just got these kind of like gauntlets that are like the spider clone there. Ben Riley has got the pieces on top, and he's just shooting out the webbing. But instead, she's got this Crystallis thing. It's like, well, we'll do kind of like a Spider-Man thing, but make it more like a Tholian web from Star Trek.
Oh, dang it.
I hate it when you make nerd references, and I get them all.
Yeah, I love Tholian Web. It's a great episode. And then now we get our Mystique
Shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter, our Mystique rip-off guy here, who, of course, picks up Fathom's dad, and tells everybody, Mr. Golden here, you're going to be taken advantage of and shot and murdered and everything else if you don't surrender.
Then we see it's the girl that was piloting the flying craft. So
yep, yeah. So her power is shape-shifting, and of course she's got his gun now from the FBI agent or police officer, somebody's gun.
Yeah, a 357 Magnum out of nowhere, and trying to stick it up his nose.
Yeah, because his freaking nostrils even moving. And they're at the end. They're like, "What do we do?" And of course, good cliffhanger. You do what our associate says, and you surrender because we're going to take you in.
Not for nothing, that dude looks. What's his name again?
This guy.
It says it right on the next page. All the names are there.
Oh yeah. It's Behemoth is the Blob ripoff. Mm-hmm. Then there's Crystallis, Ratman, Annihilator, the Electrocutioner, and Shapeshifter. Some of these names aren't the most creative.
Yeah. So Annihilator looks like he should be a villain in The Tick. Because he's got this big swollen head. It's either that or that dude has like one of those. He's still sporting one of those 70s throws. So his cowl is just stuck with hair.
Stuck with hair, yeah.
I like the next page because then we see the Destroyers. The next page. It's got the commercial on it there.
Oh yeah. I left that.
The most unexpected surprise of 1984. Nope, it wasn't that Van Halen album.
No.
We knew that was going to be good. Evangeline, which I used to read. Mage, which is amazing.
Yep.
And now the Elementals. Mm-hmm. Comico. The comic.
So here's their names, and there's their powers. So Vortex, Monolith, Morningstar, and Fathom. Of course, Fathom's water, Morningstar's fire, Monolith earth, and Vortex is, of course, air. But yeah, I left that in, and was that the last page I sent you?
Yeah.
That was the end of the book.
Yeah, Vortex blows.
Damn it. In more ways than one.
He's the air guy.
I think I've read Evangeline myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. We get, we did, what was it? It wasn't Mage we did by Wagner. We did Grendel by Wagner. And, this is Mage, of course, is after Grendel, and he's, going up and up. Shortly after this, I mean, he's freaking doing Batman and stuff. And, Evangeline is by Dixon. Uh, that was what was so amazing about the 80s. Even Willingham, who, like I said, becomes a big name in comics later on.
He did the whole book by himself.
Yeah, he did everything. But yeah, look at this. Look at that. I mean, beside her being scantily clad and everything, but look at the face and proportion wise, and then look at like right there.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, this is just not great. I mean, it's okay, but it's nothing compared to this. And this is one of those things.
Oh, there it was.
He's going too fast. Yeah. This is one of those things that, like we talked about when we did Cerebus. Sims did everything by himself for so long that in just a short period of time, he really becomes a great penciler. And, Willingham's done the same thing here. In 20 pages, he's developed so much because it's a one-man show book here.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I know what the secret is.
Practice.
No, Fathom is ugly unless she's almost naked.
I almost said something ugly, but I was drinking soda, so. This is not a terrible book. It makes me want to read just to see what's going on next. It's got this nice cliffhanger. I can't remember what all Comico did in the 80s, though. Like I said, besides, the three that are advertised here.
Evangeline, Mage, Elementals, Robotech.
Yeah, they did Robotech.
Star Blazers.
That was probably it, wasn't it?
No, they did a few more. They did they're the ones that brought back Speed Racer to comics.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right. Speed Racer had its own comics back in the 80s.
And if you hold the show for a second, I can wheel over yonder. I've got the Comico black box that actually has some of the original Comico books in it.
Really?
Yeah. This will be good. Hold on.
What's the score?
401. We'll put the enemy Springer in a minute.
Why?
Because they had hit a home run as a grand slam. High body. We got Ruby.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, we're getting too old. I'm yawning and everything else, and you're belching and farting.
No extra charge. So I paid. I think this was like between $30 and $50.
Really?
And I bought it because it was the Grendel Comico collection. Because this was supposed to be the only way that you could get Grendel black, white, and red. As we know, it has been reprinted multiple times in multiple formats. And they were able to do that as soon as Comico went out of business, because then nobody owned it but Matt and whatever company he was working for. So this used to have like a big like character Comico poster in it, and I lost it, or it got damaged, and I got mad and Got rid of it. So a deluxe silver embossed slipcase specifically designed by Matt Wagner and perfect for any Grendel enthusiast's bookshelf. An all-new 16-page comic written by Matt and illustrated by Dean Mr. X Motter, featuring Hunter Rose, the original Grendel persona. The story is presented in a glossy paper stock and printed in black, white, and red. The comic will not be made available anywhere else and can only be obtained by purchasing this collection until we go out of business.
And Dark Horse picks us up.
Yeah, it's a stunning first-time collaboration between these two. But the thing is the version that's in here, I think it's no different than the others, but this is the original first print.
Yeah.
Also, 10 Comico back issues. You're guaranteed that at least one of each of the following titles will be in here. And here's titles that they had: Johnny Quest, Robotech, the Macross Saga, Grendel, Robotech Masters, Elementals, Star Blazers, Robotech The New Generation. So they had every single Robotech version you could get. And Justice Machine, originally priced at $1.50 each.
I'll let you go outside.
Each comic contains 32 pages of story, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, it was only $9.95. I don't know why I thought it was more. I was probably thinking of something else. So this is kind of
today's prices.
That's right.
Robotech.
Yeah, well, that's the actual SDF Matchbox ship. So let's see what we got here. We got Robotech Masters number 9, and Comico had that big C, and they put that like their version of the checkerboard pattern up top. This is like a mail-in slip to subscribe to a company that doesn't exist anymore. Robotech Macross Masters number 13, as seen on TV.
God, that series was so good.
Johnny Quest number 2.
Now, the thing about that, I forgot Johnny Quest was Comico. I was thinking it was first. Dave Stevens did some of those covers. He did like 5 and another cover. But, we did Rio, just a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The first issue of Johnny Quest is written and illustrated by Doug Wadley. And it's absolutely amazing. It's like watching another, it's like reading a new episode of the original cartoon because, he wrote and had those.
Okay.
Designs.
Issue 2 here came out in 1986.
Yeah.
Cover price of $1.50.
Hell, it was worth it. Johnny Quest is so good.
Yeah. There is, in this issue's pinup page, but we'll save his profile for Johnny Quest number 6. Adam Kubert painted the pinup in this back in 1986.
86. Fresh out of freaking art school.
And I mean, cool. Like it looks like it's right out of, the cartoon.
Yep.
He was probably still in his dad's school at this time. There's the back cover. Professor's going to get him some. I'm trying to find it, but the page is, it's good paper for that time, but I don't want to.
Well, it's Baxter paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Baxter paper.
Oh, issue 2 of Johnny Quest. That's where Johnny's mother dies.
Oh my God, really? Oh shit. Who's the artist in that one?
No idea yet.
I've got it. I know I've read it. I forgot. I've forgotten that because I've got all of them.
Creator You ready for this? Creator profiles. Wendy Peeney,
Yep.
Joe Staten, and Rick Taylor.
See, yeah, the one person in there that you're like, okay, who is Rick Taylor? You know, everybody else you're like, oh my God, these people are like legends.
Mm-hmm. And I guess this is the first appearance of Race Bannon.
Because he is the baddest man alive.
Yeah. It's like, let's get a James Bond, but he doesn't know anybody. And apparently somebody was doubling as him.
In the comic, yep, because there's Race knocking himself out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Masquerading as Race. It's like on Thunderball.
Oh, good Lord.
Good Lord, what?
That's got to be it. Yeah. 1986, Little Adam Kubert.
There's his pinup. Man.
It's like, well, I'm going to do something like Frank. Draw something like your father. Nah.
Nope.
And they called it the Height page, which was just, you can see the ad for Justice Machine in there.
Yeah, that Robotech.
Yeah, Robotech, and Robotech.
So that was just essentially that was a slipcase box of Comico books just to get your butt started.
It was 10 Comico books, 10 random Comico books, one of each of the titles that I read off, along with the Grendel Black, White, and Red, and it came with like a character poster of Comico. These do not belong in there, but they're still cool to look at. A Battlestar Galactica Season 0 free comic book day.
Yeah, that's a little modern.
Another free comic book day, Mickey Mouse and Robin Hood.
God.
Reprint, of course. What's this? Oh, this is Robotech, the new generation. And you paid, what was it, $1.50 for these? But they all have wraparound covers.
Yeah, they all of them.
All the Comico books all had wraparound covers.
Yeah. Now that's the thing that's so amazing about the Johnny Quest books is, like I said, the first one is an incredible cover, and it's wildly.
And here is issue 6 of Justice Machine. With the wraparound in the back, that looks a lot like Moondragon.
Yeah, from Marvel.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking, but I'm not seeing. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So that whole black and white page
is all their books.
No. That's what you have to read to know what has happened before this issue starts.
Oh my God. A small novel, huh?
Yeah. I want a single page. So, Justice Machine, written by Tony Isabella, a creator and illustrator Mike Gustovich, lettered by Bob Penaya, colored by Tom Vincent, and Diana Schultz is the editor. But it's funny because like at least one name in every book is like, oh my God, they did that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I told you, what is it? I bought that Next Man,
who looks remarkably like Machine Man.
Yeah, I love Machine Man. God, Machine Man is so good.
There's a huge issue of Machine Man that's like spiking like crazy in the sales charts right now.
Which one?
I can't remember. Um, this issue, this the story in this book is titled "I Shot the Sheriff." How very 80s. Script by Roger McKenzie. Vince Argondesi was the pencils. They're both co-creators of this. Bill Anderson inks, Bob Panaya letters, and Kurt Masser colors. But like that's basically what you
Jesus
open up
Christ, that's Machine Man. The thing that's amazing about that series.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The thing that's amazing about Machine Man is it only went like 19 issues. Star Blazers.
I love this show.
Yeah, Star Blazers was good.
And then the back cover is this. So you go up on that.
You know, I went and visited a buddies of mine last week when I was out of town working. And we were actually talking. He actually had all the figures up there. You remember Silverhawks?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, Silverhawks. I'm like, man.
Oh, my God. I just happened to drop in and you said the magic words. Got him. Oh, yes, that JQ2 was a tearjerker. Mama Quest dies. Spoilers. Robotech Next Generation Trivia drawn by Reggie Byers, who quit comics to go into religion. I remember all those names. Well, Hex, you're kind of old like we are.
Yeah.
I see. Star Blazers was always like a 4-issue miniseries for them. I just wanted to see who worked on this.
It's probably somebody we know.
Mike Chen. Phil Fagulio. And Doug Rice was the penciler.
Doug Rice.
Elementals 13.
What's the interior art look like?
Probably a lot better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
it's different here though. Bill is still plotting, but Jack Herman was the scripter. Special guest penciler Jill Thompson.
Jill Thompson.
Keith Wilson inks, Kurt Masserat colors, and Bob Piana letters. Elementals Ice Age. With an ad for Gumby, damn it.
It looked like Batman and Gumby.
Look how much better that looks.
Yeah. Just as, I mean, and that's the whole thing. These books just rocketed.
Well, this was a guest penciler too, so. And Discover the Beauty coming this May from Comico, a 3-issue miniseries by Lawrence Scheich, Jill Thompson, guest penciler, and that's why Keith Wilson, covered by Bill Wilmingham, a Fathom 3-issue miniseries. Whoops.
Damn.
Yeah. Which, of course, is going to include more in depth of her origin. Whoops. Rio.
Man, Rio. God, that book is so good.
I don't think there's a pinup in this one though. Whoops. It goes to the height page and then keeps continuing. That was a good page. That's a good page though.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, they were just doing everything they could to see what stuck and what sold.
On sale in June, Rio, the graphic novel, and Elementals 14.
And I'm gonna be ugly here, but that the Elementals 14 ad looks good, but that damn Rio ad is incredible.
Well, dude, it's Rio. Grendel 5. This was the girl that took over the Grendel mantle after
Hunter Rose dies.
Hunter Rose died, and she got a hold. She got a hold of his. She got a hold of his journals. So created and written by Matt Wagner, but penciled by Ponder Bros. Inked by Jeff Geldof, Steve Hine, Tom Vincent, Diana Schwartz. He did it, and every book was like a chapter. So it's not even him drawing it, but it's still pretty good. And doesn't say what issue number. Oh, issue number 2. Evangeline, issue 2.
The hate boat.
The hate boat. I should have just done this in the beginning, just open up to the whole thing. Story by Charles Dixon. Pencils and colors by Judith Hunt. Inks by Ricardo Villagran and lettered by Rod O'Harenshaw. But this is like the art inside there.
Yeah, it's good art.
Almost like a pastel painting. So yeah, good stuff. So what are you thinking about next week?
I don't know. I was going to have to come up with something.
There he is, Hex. Christine Spar. Yes, the second Grendel.
Oh.
And I have that single Evangeline issue too. Jeez. Well, Hex, did it come out of that box? Because that's where I got mine. I kid though. I was actually subscribed to. I was subscribed to Grendel back then. I got introduced, right after Hunter Rose got killed. But it was like story time hour, because I'd be like, every time I went in, I'd be like, dude, tell me more about Hunter Rose. He goes, well, there really wasn't much. He went a few issues, and he was the coolest anti-villain ever, but he died.
He died. Damn it. I haven't had a chance to really think about it. I've been working too much, and I have got to I got to figure out what my schedule is for next week, just to make sure we can actually do a show next week, because I may have to go out of town.
Okay.
But I will figure something out and let you know. While you were showing, I brought these. I actually told you about this book a while back. Now, mind you, I'll take it out of the package so you don't see the wrinkly cover.
Oh, you got it. Damn you.
Yep. The Fumetti book. And it is. There's your.
What would I look like as the Hulk?
Yeah.
Silly.
And it's all the bullpen and,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's everybody, and you get to see who's who and pictures of action. There's Terry Austin.
Yeah. Inker Dinker Do, starring Terry Austin.
There's Stan. Oh God, here's how unpolitically correct it was.
The wet T-shirt contest.
Yeah,
Okay, now I do need that book.
yeah. Here's everybody arguing. It's starring Archie Goodwin, Al Milgrom, Danny O'Neill, Larry Hama, Luis Jones, Tom DeFalco, Mark Grunwald, Rolf Macchio, Carl Parks, Jim Shooter, and Stan Lee.
All the editors.
Yeah, who's the boss? And there's the back cover.
And that's all, folks. Well,
Yeah,
at least they let the girl get on top.
Yeah.
How modern of them.
So there's that, and then I picked up Iron Man 164.
Okay.
Here you can fuss again at me.
Yeah. That's when I really started. Yes. Wow. The good old days at Marvel. That's when I really started getting into Keith Giffen, was like around that time in DC Comics Presents.
Power Man.
Yep.
And I picked these up because I'm trying to figure out why everybody loves this character. The artwork is amazing. That's one thing.
Moon Knight.
Yep.
Which version or series is that?
It's 1.
That's volume 1?
Yep.
Volume 1, issue 1?
No, this is volume 1, issue 28.
Oh.
And then I've got a volume 1, issue 5.
I got a couple number 1s around here somewhere. I like them just fine. Actually, I think I have all the volume 1 because I have the Moon Knight Black and White Essentials from Marvel there.
Yeah, this is volume 1, number 5 from 1981, and this is Doug Monick writer, Bill Sienkiewicz penciler, Klaus Janson inker, Ralph Parker and letterer, and then B. Sharon is the colorist. And this is before Sienkiewicz really starts getting experimental. This is kind of back when he was a Neil Adams clone.
Oh, when he could draw.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he could draw after this, but yeah, I mean, but this is when, like I said, he started out as a Neil Adams clone. The talking about books that we were, wanting to do. I know I sent you one a while back. The Joker, that Superman Adventures number 14 with the appearance of the Joker. I know I sent that to you. We need to do it one day. That was the digital only first, and then you had to buy the paperback later on. That's the one. It's got the story of the sound. What's the sound of one hand clapping in it, with all the art by Jock. Yeah.
You sent that to me?
I thought I did. I sent it to you and told you to read it, but you probably forgot in your, in a moment.
Like in a second, you mean?
Yeah. But you got that, and the other thing I was wanting to do is
that was volume 1, number 28, Hex.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing we need to do is I got that one I sent over to you, and I wanted to do showcase. I think it's 83 and 84, the first appearance of like the Night Master, because all of the art in there was by the studio. It's it's Kaluta and Bernie Wrightston art.
Another one I want to do is the the heroin issue of Green Lantern, Green Arrow there.
Which one?
The famous Neil Adams one where Speedy is actually shooting Speed.
Oh, the heroin issue. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was thinking you're talking about heroin as in female superhero. Oh no, you want the stop. He's a drug dealer.
Yeah, yeah. It's like heroin after that atrocious thing that was Wonder Woman 1984. I don't think so.
I still haven't seen that. It's back on HBO Max now. But yeah, I've heard it's terrible.
I'm getting mad because the app that I was using to watch everything on,
yeah,
all of a sudden everything I want to watch isn't there. Like somebody uploaded it from the dark side, and by the time I get around to like attempting to watch it, the links have already been like removed, so there's nothing there. So there'll be like 3 or 4 links you can try. You try them all, nothing there.
Nothing there.
Nothing there. Nothing there. I'm like, son of a.
Just go back and watch Space 1999. You'll be fine.
I was. I got mad because Tubi decides that they want to shuffle around their stuff, but they keep putting the new Battlestar Galactica that I binged in like a little over a week. The entire thing.
Did you not sleep for a week?
Well, no. But whatever.
Sleep's so underrated.
It is really. But no, as it turns out, I never actually finished watching that series.
The original Battlestar or Space 1999?
The original, please. The original Battlestar. I've got the DVD set that comes in the Cylon's face, and it comes with like a couple of books and everything too. But no, the remake from the Sci-Fi Channel from a few years back.
Yeah.
I got as far as when they made it to Earth and they found all the copies of themselves on the planet, but dead. And I'm like, okay, that's it. And I walked away. I didn't realize, no, they actually do end up finding Earth at the very end. But they find Earth when when we would actually, in real time here, still be in the Cro-Magnon age.
Oh man.
So they just set up. They didn't set up. They were going to set up cities and like, nope, do this, that, and the other thing. And Laura Roslin, the lady president of the colonies, finally died, and Adama went to build his cabin overlooking some beautiful scenery where he buried her. And
yeah, because that original Battlestar Galactica, which I know it's been so long since they were like, that's they were heading back because they were ancient Egyptians or something like that. They had the weird.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, whoa, this is weird.
That was cool.
But yeah, that was a long time ago when we watched Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, we were both little kids.
I
remember when I was like 19, I got to meet Richard Hatch.
Richard Hatch. I don't think I can remember meeting any of those. He was at like one of those early conventions in Boston where it was like, supposed to be like this high tech stuff. His table was right next to James Hahn. So I met them both and got autographs from both. But that was all my money. That was all your money.
My friend, my buddy Dave bought my ticket, and I wasn't I wasn't DJing yet, so I wasn't making, I didn't have like stacks of dollar bills in every pocket. So but I got to meet him, and he was telling me about his plight of, fighting with the network and production and blah blah blah, trying to remake his version of Battlestar Galactica, and he had written scripts and books, and they didn't want to hear anything. He was a super nice guy, He was no James Hong, but
Well, the thing with that is the budget and the sci-fi special effects for that were so outrageous. I mean, it was just so, the budget was so over the top.
You mean the special effects that they shot once and just put them on a loop?
Yeah, well, it still had an amazing budget for TV shows at that time. I mean, for God's sake.
Same as anything back in like the mid to late 70s.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that's so amazing about me. Some of those, they did so much with so little. And, Star Trek is the number one, always comes to mind, because literally they reused every damn thing and still got 3 seasons out of that. But no, I was going to say, going to early conventions, the only person from my childhood that I really met that I was like, this is so cool, is I got to meet Aaron Gray and what's his face from Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
I just saw a picture of them. Like it was somebody on some page posted it, and it was them like side by side, like them in those skin tight spandex suits. And
Yeah.
I'm just looking. I go, oh, Paul Gilgerard, you couldn't hide a boner on one of those.
Yeah.
And then it shows him. Then it shows him now, and he must be doing the Jack LaLanne thing, because he was standing up next to Erin Gray, and she's still skinny and anorexic, damn her, and he's there, and he looks all fit and everything, and I'm like, oh, you've been working out since 1974. That must suck. That must suck.
He's never stopped. Damn it.
All right, so we'll find out next week whether we have a show or not. If so, Thomas will send me something digital to read, and once his schedule's sorted out, if we do it, it'll be that book that he talked about, the Superman Joker, the sound of one hand clapping.
Yep.
And the following one will be the Neil Adams classic cover of Heroin. This must be why we named him Speedy.
Yeah, because he's a junkie.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I always wondered why they called Kid Flash instead of Speedy. I mean, what kind of nickname is Speedy for somebody with a bow and arrow? Well, he's Speedy with an arrow. No. Once anybody pulls an arrow back from the hilt, the piece of equipment does all the work, and the arrow goes speedily.
Yeah.
So, well, we were planning out this heroin story for 35 years, and we had to wait till the comic code loosened up a little bit so we could let him get all junky. I'm like, all right.
Now, are those comic code issues? Because you remember they couldn't do comic code. You couldn't show drugs at one point in the comic code, because you remember the whole Spider-Man, was it like 90, 97, 98, and 99, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it was like early on.
Yeah, but those 3 issues are they're Stan Lee and John Romita, and they are not comic code approved. And
I don't think this one was either.
Really? Yes. So we'll have to look into that before we go.
It was either not, or it slipped by, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to
But I
find
mean,
out.
when I was filling up my long box full of Hulk, I came across what used to be not a real expensive issue, but an important issue when Hulk's friend died of AIDS back in
Yeah,
like
the black issue when
yeah,
Wilson dies of AIDS.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I looked it up. It's worthless now.
yeah. I mean, and it's the only thing is it's one of those books that Peter David was talking about the AIDS crisis in
Hmm.
the late '80s. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
wants the Hulk to was he God, isn't that the issue where he wants Bruce Banner to actually give him some of his blood because he thinks that his blood will actually cure the AIDS. It'll burn it out of his system, and then he'll have powers. And the Hulk's like, I can't do it. Bruce Banner's like, I can't do that. Our blood types aren't compatible, and there's nothing we can do. And he dies. But that's how we
Well,
got She-Hulk.
well, Bruce, you could have tried, because I mean, not a straight transfer because then you get the age too. But you could have just had him withdraw some and let him try it and see if it did anything. But
Yeah,
no.
yeah, I remember that. Dude, at that point, Hulk was my favorite book. It's still to this day, even with Immortal Hulk, like I emailed you yesterday. I got all my comics in the mail. They came a week late, and the first two issues I read were the two new issues of Immortal Hulk.
And remember they were doing like multiple printings of like the earlier editions of Immortal Hulk because they couldn't keep them on the rack.
No, there are multiple printings of the early issues. There are like 5 prints on issue 1 or some crap.
Yeah, this like issue 2 has it's up to like a 7th printing or something.
Oh, is it? I didn't realize it was
But
that.
now they're doing uh, director's cut editions of the earlier issues.
I may have to pick up a few of those.
So, and I mean, they're all the same, but I mean, still, yeah, I probably have some of them in my. I haven't bought anything in like 4 or 5 months because I'm trying to get like this organized. But I got no help but me, and that's it.
What's terrible though is I still they're all from whatever thing I've seen. They're planning on 50 issues and stopping. And
Yeah, he already said that.
I know. I keep hoping that it was just some fever pitch in my head because the damn book is that good.
Yeah, I know, but I think he wants to stop the book at issue 50. And it's probably going to be like a double-sized issue. Knowing Marvel, they'll charge like $35 for it, and they'll reprint like the first 5 issues or something in the back
It'll be worth it.
on newspaper print. But they did the one shot, but supposedly he wanted to do Immortal She-Hulk after this.
Well, he could do something to fix She-Hulk. She looks terrible in the new Avengers.
Well, good. Kill her and make her a mortal monster. If she's going to look terrible, she might as well have cool stories from it.
Well, and
that's
the thing that gets me too is, and I've got the originals on it, but we got Betty Ross comes back as She-Hulk, Red She-Hulk at one point in the series.
Yeah, and then she ends up being a harpy or something.
Well, the first time that she had gamma powers, and somebody kidnapped her. I think it was MODOK or somebody. I can't remember. AIM kidnapped her, and they injected her with gamma radiation and everything, and they turned her into the harpy. But in the later on in Red Hulk, and this is years ago, when Red Hulk first showed up and Thunderbolt Ross was the Red Hulk, which he's back to being the Red Hulk again, thank God, because I love Thunderbolt Ross. But that's in Captain America. they bring Betty Banner back, or Betty Ross back, but now she's like the Red Harpy, because she shows up at the end of issue like 45, I think it is. I read the other day, and dude, she's terrifying looking. It's just, oh my god. But yeah, that's a damn good book. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've got 4 stacks this high on the end table next to my recliner.
I know.
And so, of course, what do I do today? I start to read the one of the Bad Idea books that came out the other week, the whale one.
Oh, okay.
And then I put it down and I pick up my tablet and I read 2 of the brand new Scout books on my tablet. I read another book too. Oh yeah, I finally got a copy. I think it's either 3rd or 5th print, whatever the hell it is, of Last Ronin #1.
Oh, the turtle book. Is it good?
I don't know. I got a page and a half in.
And then
I put it down to the right of me on the table on the other side that's got a stack like this. But the stack's like that because this high up is the at the very bottom is the Age of Apocalypse omnibus. So,
oh my god, I managed to read a handful of books this week, and like I said, I read the 2 Immortal Hulk books. I read the new issue of Action Comics with Mongol in it, by Philip Kennedy. Is it Philip Kennedy Johnson? I can't remember who the artist was.
I don't know.
Art was really good. Story was pretty good. Superboy's upset. Superman's story kind of stops. Nobody knows anything about him in the future because he's in the future with Legion of Superheroes, and he's talking with Damian, who Damian just didn't seem very nice. He seemed nicer than he normally is in that book because I really.
Oh, was that Damian. The battle? Was that the battle of the Super Sons?
No, that's something else. They're just in the book together. But I read those 3, and I read Get This, and it's actually a good read. I don't know why I've been getting into them lately too. The first 4-issue miniseries of Cloak and Dagger. I read the first 2 issues.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, they're good.
Apparently, Fantastic Four #32, not the original, but it's got Dr. Doom holding his gun and like a couple of Doom bots behind him. Well, a couple of robots. They're not the Doom bots. Behind him, and one of the big speculator guys on YouTube was like, taking a picture of the cover. And then you could see behind him, there was like a stack this high of all that same book. Just meaning, so now everybody's going to go online and try to clear out whatever volume of Fantastic Four that is, that issue. That's the same thing that happens with all the people that tune into to Donnie Cates, hashtag I hates the Cates podcast. Anytime he mentions a back issue of any book,
it skyrockets.
It skyrockets because Donnie Cates mentioned this. It's got to have something to do with King in Black or the next book he's going to write. And whoom, everybody goes flying out and buys it.
Well, I guess
false markets.
Being as old as we are, what's nice about that is a lot of these hot speculator books I bought years and years ago when they were like cover price, and they're just sitting in there going up in value.
Mm-hmm. Like I never gave two shits about Spider-Gwen. I go, this is stupid. Well, she's from a different dimension. I'm like, yeah, because you're a lazy fucking writer. She's from a different dimension because you're a lazy writer and can't think of anything else. Let's bring Gwen Stacy back and give her spider powers because she kissed Peter once. Yeah, that's wonderful.
She got injected with her powers another way.
I bet she did.
But That book is hot.
That dirty bitch.
The thing that's funny is I had
I sold both my copies. I sold one to John Ross from the Big Daddy comic page, and then I sold the other one to John from Comic Book Collectors Forum.
Yeah, I traded mine years ago before it got as hot as it did, but I actually got a bunch of Silver Age stuff for it because somebody really wanted it. I'm like, okay, there's some Silver Age caps and stuff that I need that, I'm pretty sure will never go down in value.
Yeah, because this book's garbage. It'll never go anywhere.
Yeah, it's gone up, but I wait for the market to break on it, but it may never break. It may be another Spider-Man 300 or freaking New Mutants 98 and just keep going up.
I don't care. Needed money, got money, and I got a couple of #1 Kirby books. So
yep. All right. Well, I'll let you know what my schedule is as soon as my boss lets me know what my schedule is, because right now I know what I work tomorrow and I don't know anything after that.
Okie dokie.
Then we'll go from there.
All right. So until next time, these two old guys are going to go to bed.
Yep.
Separately.
Yes. Damn it.
Because Thomas's wife won't have any of that.
Bye, man.
All right. Good night, everybody.